Today is a review of Lord of Light by Roger Zelazny. He wrote this in 1967, first published in 1967. It won the 1968 Hugo Award, and I think deservedly so. The book is about a Earth colonial starship that finds an Earth-type planet that appears to be uninhabited by intelligent beings. So they begin colonization, and they get pretty far into the colonization when they discover that the planet is inhabited by beings that would appear to us to be more or less supernatural demons. So a war ensues, and the super science of the colonists actually prevails, and they end up locking up the original inhabitants in a giant hole in the ground that they call hellhole. So from there they decide to make themselves, the ship's crew decides to make themselves immortal to supposedly continue containing the indigenous inhabitants, who are quite evil. So at that point, then somewhere along the line, that morphs into, they set up more or less a feudal warlord society based on sort of Hindu and Buddhist religion that keeps the rest of the population in essentially serfdom and ignorance. The main character, Sam, decides that that is wrong, and he tries to overthrow the inhabitants of heaven, which is what the ship's crew call their city at this point. And they use all the religious symbolism and everything to instill fear and control over their descendants. And this irks Sam quite a bit. And the book is really about his two attempts to overthrow the original ship's crew and free their children, essentially. So that's my basic concept here on the book. I will have a much longer written review with this video, and I really enjoyed the book. I thought it was really well written. There are all kinds of moral, religious, and government observations scattered throughout the book. Sam is actually a fairly likable character. At one point he tries to make a deal with the devil, the leader of the original inhabitants, who then possesses him and just wreaks havoc on the population, the local population nearby. Sam's presence inside his own body with the alien is a really remarkable writing, and Sam's presence also has a significant impact on the demon's outlook on life, and that is really worth reading, and I enjoyed the book immensely. Here it is, Lord of Light, Roger Zelazny, Hugo Award 1968. I don't have my original copy from 1971. It more or less fell apart. Now, in an interesting aside, I included a link to an old movie, Jason and the Argonauts, produced by Charles Schneer and Ray Harryhausen. And I think that would give you a little perspective on what's happening in the book if you've never seen the film. It is really a good film and really worth your time to watch, regardless of the way it might affect you looking at the novel. And in another aside, I just finished Sinister Barrier by Eric Frank Russell, published in Unknown, originally in 1939, and then first published as a novel in 1948. And it is surprisingly similar to Lord of Light. Almost nothing as far as the religious and moral aspects, but it is very similar in that what happens here is there are basically demons on Earth that we cannot see, and then these scientists do discover them quite accidentally. And then there's a war that ensues between the original inhabitants of Earth and the human beings, which it is revealed at the end of the book are actually colonists. So that's pretty interesting. And that's about all I have for today. I would like everyone to read my much more in-depth review and make any comments or suggestions. That would be great. And I'll see you guys later, and I hope everybody is having great holidays and is feeling well.